Oh, hey there. I was kind of hoping it'd show up. Hey there. Been a while, huh? Yep. Long time no see. I wasn't sure myself, so you weren't the only one. Good to see you back. Yeah, thanks. Much appreciated. Should we get into it then? Actually planning to go to sleep, but then I saw you and came here. I mean, not happy to see me then. No. I'm happy, but sleep is important as well. So let's do this then. I'll reset it to 15 minutes and we'll talk about things and you can go to bed then. Fine. I won't, but you should. I won't be telling you, but you totally should. Take it as podcast bro to podcast bro, yeah. So, should we get into it? Just so you know, I'm rolling my eyes, yeah. I can imagine that. Right, so let's restore the timeline. Let me try and trace it back for the messages. So on March 13th is when the thing happened. Was it? Yeah, March 13th. It's just the usual no stream today kind of thing. But what happened was I was talking to a friend of mine. We just we caught up after work, and we went out for coffee and just we're taking a walk, discussing things, life mostly, like we do mostly, just life talks, and he mentioned something that really got to me in a way where I don't remember anything else in the last couple of years getting into my head to that extent. So he mentioned that it seems to him that his life is no, what was it? It wasn't that. I'm trying to recall how it started, but the conclusion that I came to is that my life is basically window like shopping. I'm looking at the scenes and things that people do from the outside, and I'm never able to become that or touch that or have that. It's just something that I observe from the outside, and it seems so close that I'm almost there, but there's a glass between that place where I want to be, or that thing that I want to do, or the thing that I want to have, and I can't really get in there. I can just watch from the sidelines and just walk away, move on to the next window and look at some other beautiful scene that I want to be a part of, but I can't really be part of it. And so I came to this conclusion, and it really basically sums up my life for the last, I don't know, 5-8 years. I feel like 5 at least, probably stretches as far back as 8 years. And it really kicked me off track, this thought. And and yeah, I just started ruining my routine after that because I couldn't fall asleep. Then I woke up late, and then it sort of like snowballed into me completely ruining my routine, where I would I wouldn't wake up on time, and then I would rush to start work, and then I would end it later than I would otherwise, and then I couldn't take my daytime nap, and then by the time 5 o'clock for me rolls around, which is usually my stream time, I would be only heading out to the gym and coming back at like 7 in the evening, and then there's only a few hours left till I go to bed, and then I try to go to bed and I can't, and it's just really fell apart. And then this thought of like being a window shopper throughout my whole life, um, compounded with some financial changes in my life that happened in the next couple of days as well, where I won't be going into the details, but like the main thing that happened is my tax situation changed, and I'm effectively making a little bit less net every month, which contributes even more to the window shopping idea. So yeah, I wasn't in a good place. I ruined the routine completely, and I was looping over this thought for a good week at least, and then the next week after that, I was just trying to rebuild my routine, but really couldn't do it for some reason. And I started feeling some sort of like resentment towards this stream, and I managed to rebuild it a week ago, but every time I wanted to or thought about starting the stream, I felt some kind of like anxiety that I am not sure what it's connected to. So it's a good thing that like yesterday and the day before that I had to do overtime at work, because like I'm not sure if I would have been able to come up with a good excuse. And today, even today, I was like, I had to force myself basically, and I'm not sure like what it's about, some sort of anxiety, and I'm not sure what it is yet. So not resentment. I'm not sure. I can't really put a finger on it just yet. But like every time I thought about doing it, just I don't know. I just couldn't. I also have things that I try to reach, but end up not being able to grasp it. Yeah. And I feel like my life has been a series of these kinds of events where I'm trying to reach something, but then not quite getting there. And I think when I was younger, or I was, not that I'm old right now, but when I was even younger than I am right now, I always felt like, well, there's still time ahead, still potential in front of me, and if I don't get it today, one day I will. But it looks like that's just not happening for some reason, and yeah, and then I was thinking about quite a lot of things, all based around this idea of reaching and not being able to get there. And I think it kind of like, at the end of the day, I don't think I really came up with anything new. Really just came back to all of the conclusions that I made in the past. And the only logical thing to do is to return to the routine and just keep doing what I'm doing. Because, if I just continue on this, like, there's nothing new there, like nothing. It's the same kind of same thoughts, same conclusions, same things that I'm not happy about. in terms of how the world is built, about myself. It's all the same thing. So yeah. Sorry if it offends you in any way. It's not my intention, but when we are not born in silver golden spoon family, our life ends up window shopping. It's the same for me. I mean, financial aspect of it is the easiest one to understand. But I'm not only talking about like the shopping aspect of it. It's just I think it's a nice metaphor, and it's a term that is used elsewhere. Like what is it? Like shopping addiction, and people go window shopping because they're addicted to shopping. But it's not just about money; it's other things as well. And the reasons why I'm not able to get that thing, whatever it is that I want to be, is not always about money. But significant amount of those things are financial. Financial and also mental. Some of it is mental, I think, but I'm just another person blabbering here. I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, me neither. So no worries there. Thanks. I'm happy that you showed up, and I could clear the air. Imagine trying to like text all that. I mean, I was contemplating maybe posting something more concrete on the server, but just the thought of like writing all of it down would have been much easier to just, talk about it. It was quite concerning when you disappeared out of nowhere. I can see how you could be concerned about that. Yeah. Oops, sorry. But just to add some context to it, it's not like I'm, what I'm referring to isn't me like looking at crazy expensive things and wanting to have that and not being able to afford like crazy expensive luxury kind of stuff. It's just the fact that even the most basic things that I think all of us would consider to be a normal, average, like middle class kind of expectation for things that you should be able to do, they're crazy expensive if you really want to be able to afford those things. And even people who have, I think it's just the modern Western economy for people who are building things from scratch. It's really expensive, everything, all of it. Not the luxury things, but like all of it, really. And as somebody who again, I'm starting from scratch in a country that that I wasn't born in and that I moved into with no real basically nothing. To be able to really afford the basic things is quite a bit. Remember you saying you lived on your own since a young age? Yeah, but I mean, you could, the thing is that like, you could theoretically have those things, but that is really the only way to get there immediately. Like, and that's, I think, how most middle class people are actually affording these things right now through debt, through financing, credit, which doesn't really work for me. I can't do that. So thinking about how one day potentially I could afford a family, that seems crazy expensive. And then even people who have really good jobs that aren't coming from money, but maybe they made it quite far up enough in life that they earn a decent wage. Even for them, it's crazy expensive. And the math of how modern living doesn't add up for me financially, unless you're making millions and millions a year. I don't know. And then, as I'm thinking of all of this, I'm realizing that, my tax thing is, my tax situation is changing, and I'll be making even a little bit less. That doesn't help at all. Even like it reinforces this idea of like, yeah, if you didn't know how to build this life in the past, now you get even less money and even more questions. Inflation. I mean, we could talk about like inflated housing markets, inflation, of course, stagnation of wages. We can get into the macro and micro details of it economically, but end of day, it's not easy, especially if you want to, because like, I remember this discussion that we had in one of the finance classes that I attended in school. There was something about the definition of what it means to be able to afford something, right? So if I have $5 and an apple costs $5, can I really afford the apple? Well, the surface level answer is yes, because you do have $5, but once you spend the $5 on the apple, you've got nothing left. So I guess you can't really afford an apple if you have enough money to buy it, because buying it outright it's not the whole definition of being able to afford that thing. So that stuck with me, and it's the way I've been looking at things basically throughout my whole life, because I do have quite a few examples of people in the family and around the family growing up buying things through credit, through financing, and it never made sense to me, like the amount of anxiety that I get thinking about owing large sums of money to somebody for the rest of my life. I wouldn't enjoy, like, whatever it is that I would need financing for, I wouldn't enjoy it if I got it through financing, because it would just put extra pressure and stress on me, and I would enjoy it for maybe like 10 minutes, and then the only thing left would be the financial anxiety and the stress of dealing with that debt. So there is like a 10x multiplier for affording things in general. In apples, it's quite easy. You need $50 to afford an apple that costs $5. But what kind of math is there for owning a house? I'm not even talking about like crazy luxurious big house, but like whatever, flat in a decent neighborhood. You 10x that, and you get into the millions territory pretty quickly there. So anyway, I need to figure out what I'll be doing today, because I think I've lost track of where I am with the work I'm doing here. So I think want to chat where we can work maybe. Not sure. Not sure. I guess we need to, let's keep chatting for a bit. I'm not sure what I would be doing if I started the focus session right now, to be honest with you. And starting the stream today felt like I was doing it for the first time. I was like, how does this work? How do I set up the camera? How do I turn it on? How do I get the recording going? So it really does feel like I'm doing it for the first time. Super rusty today. How have you been? It's all about me. How are you though? Kind of shitty? Tell me more about it. Instead of all that I've been saying, I could have just said the same thing. Kind of shitty. Yeah, totally. You summed it up pretty well. I feel like I've been kind of shitty as well. I have lost hope in my country. People are doing things that are pathetic. I am also feeling pathetic. Well, I have similar feelings about the world, not just the country. The one that I'm in right now or the one that I was born in, those as well, but less so about the country that I'm in right now. I feel like this one is doing things pretty well. The one that I'm from originally, yeah, I can totally relate to that. I have zero hope in that place. You want to leave? Do you have options? Seeing the state of the country at the moment, I just hope our neighbors take over us. Oof. That's a quite damning indictment of the state of things. Not right now. Not right now. You don't have options right now. Did I get there correctly? No options right now, yeah. But I will get there one day, yeah. That's the right kind of thinking, but I can do when I put my mind into it. But I also did pretty bad in other things. Just giving myself some hope so that I don't go crazy. yeah, at the end of the day, I think all of the negative conclusions that you can make when you think about yourself and your life and how it's been and how it's going and what the plans are, they are true, I think. At least when I'm analyzing myself in my life, there's quite a few negative things that I can point out. And I don't think, and you know, whenever I'm talking to somebody about these things, their immediate instinct is to, you know, disprove them and try to let me know that actually my life is great and I'm great. But you know, it doesn't land because I know that those things are true. Their rational thinking leads to those conclusions and they are true. So just saying like, hey, actually you're great and your life is awesome, it doesn't really work for me. But in order to get out of it, you have to kind of like make a leap of faith and despite all of the true negative things or true mistakes that you've made and all of that, you have to behave and think as if there is a path forward. It's not guaranteed. Again, if you think about it rationally, doing your best sometimes may not be enough to achieve whatever you want to achieve, or somebody else's best may be better than yours, right? Or there are some external circumstances that are out of your control that won't let you do what you want to do. But you can't be thinking about that every day. And once you have your analysis and all the things that you don't like or need to change or all the mistakes that you've made, I feel like there's a useful amount of time that you could spend on that, because you do need to analyze things to be able to course correct and to adjust. But at some point, it reaches this like counterproductive state where it's no longer about you discovering something that is important in terms of insights about yourself, but you transition into this like looping thinking over the same negative stuff. So you need to get out of there, take this leap of faith, and act and think as if the things are going to be fine, even though there is absolutely no guarantee of that being true. And based on your analysis, it's not true. But you need to kind of like step out of it, which is, you know, what I'm trying to do today. But based on my most recent thinking, nothing I do here is going to put a dent into my problems and push things towards me anytime soon, no matter if it's 20, 30, 40 hours a week doing things on stream. Rationally thinking about it, I don't think it's going to address my issues. But then what do I do? Try and get back into it and still do it, even though it doesn't make any sense right now. Some ray of hope, yeah. The point is, you have to do it even if sometimes it doesn't feel like it's helping. Because what's the alternative? Like, just, you know, thinking about it all over again and going through all of that analysis that you've already done. What new insights are you going to pull out of that? I'm not sure. I mean, like, if it helps you lessen your anxiety. I don't know if it does. if you're not sure what else to do, do what you have been doing till that date. Well, if the thing is that you're coming out of the place where you weren't happy doing whatever else you've been doing up until that point anyway, so should I return back to doing the same thing that I've been doing that made me unhappy and frustrated at the end? It's not like the previous state and set of actions that I've been taking fixed things. They didn't. So coming back to that is totally not a good idea. So perhaps sticking to the new plan, regardless of how shitty it feels in the moment and how useless all of it seems to be, is probably a better idea. Which is why I'm here today. Even though I didn't really want to do it. Is there any alternative? No, there isn't, unfortunately. Well, the alternative is magically become all you want to be and get all the financial security in the world immediately, like that. Which is a fictional scenario. It doesn't really happen like that, so. All right, so I'm thinking I'll try and start a session right now and just kind of go through my notes and figure out what to do next. That would be possible if I magically became delusional, yeah. All right. Let's try this then. Good luck. Was talking to myself. Forgot to unmute, sorry. Yeah, I thought about narrating it for a second as well. Hi, Queenside. I was muted and I said hi to you. And then I realized that, well, it's a terrible return so far. What I was saying, that 4 out of 10 is horrible. It's but at the same time about what I would expect after a break like that. So yeah. And I think I'm going to bail because I just ended up writing some notes about what we've been talking about before the session. I'm still not sure what I want to do today or in general. So I think I'm just gonna hit the gym and that's it. I'm hoping, like, if I stick to it, I can build the momentum back up, because I'm not feeling it at all right now, to be honest, and I'm not sure, like, how to think of it. Like, am I lazy? Like, I don't know. What is a good excuse? What is a good enough excuse to not be doing this right now? I don't know. How should I be looking at it? Yeah, should I, like, take it as a win that I got back to it, even though it was for, what, just about 2 hours, of which an hour was just talking? Or should I think of it as, like, a terrible disaster that I couldn't do it properly? Like, so many angles, I don't know. At least you got back on it, so that is good. A good excuse would be your feelings by you, but it's a win for me. Yeah, I mean, right, I think we spoke about it a few times already. 2 opposing thoughts, and yet both of them are true. It definitely is a win. And then, yeah, you got back on it, so you deserve a break. Here's the good excuse. Yeah, I do deserve a break, and but I just had a break, 2-week-long break, in fact. So what is it? Is it me bailing, being lazy, not being consistent enough, being scared, like unnecessarily anxious? Or is it a win? Or is it a good thing that I, returned for a couple hours today? All those things are true, I think, at the same time. So it's just life for you, I guess. Because, there is an argument to be made there where, like, yeah, it's whatever I'm feeling, it's great and probably true, but it doesn't really matter. And if I really want to do it, I should just do it regardless of how I feel, right? You could make that argument, and it would be a pretty good argument. You cannot get back to how you were at once. You will get there slowly. That is true as well. See, all of these things are true. Let me go grab a fresh cup. The break was too long. That is true as well. Today you got through 1 session, maybe tomorrow 2 sessions. And that is true. See, I think no matter what angle we take here, it'd probably be true, whether that is a positive or negative angle. Oh, you figured out where I'm based. Because I don't remember that I mentioned it. So good investigative skills. And the quote isn't mine; it's from a song. So, is it really? Huh. Well, big reveal. You are correct, but I'm not sure where. Country. Where is the country? I'm one of those people who read the instructions and the manuals. Yeah. Hmm. Interesting. And all this time, I was thinking that I was so clever, not revealing my location. And here you are, just reading the description. Hilarious. Hmm. Interesting. I have no idea how it, uh, does it set itself automatically? I'm not sure. But if I really wanted to know, I could just search. Yeah, yeah. I mean that's true as well. I don't think I mentioned it. That if you really wanted to, you could just check the time signature. The clock is there. So, but then could you point me to where exactly it says that? Because I'm not seeing it. So. Yeah, I'm in the capital city, so there is only one. But like, does it say it in the description? Ah, I see what you mean. The music that is described. Yeah, well, technically that's about the. That's just the sound, where the sound is from, not me. But it does happen to be the same country, which I thought was a good idea. But then if you couple that with time signature, you pretty much know where I'm at. So yeah. So you just tricked me, and or you could say I tricked myself. I couldn't. Well, I guess I'm not a good liar. uh, or at least when I'm pressed against the wall, I'm not too weak. No, I mean it's just two of us watching, so probably should change the sound or remove the description. But because, well, when you do start a stream or start a channel, you have the option to specifically choose a country that you're based in, and then it literally says it in the description off the channel and off the video and off the stream. I didn't do that, so I thought, well, maybe I could remain hidden, but anyway, it's like you said, time signature narrows it down pretty well too. So yeah, right, because that's how you tricked me. Because I thought you said description. I thought it was about that specific place where you put it in, and then it's shown on your page and all the videos. And I was pretty sure that I did not set it, but you made me think that I did set it. So I felt like I had no choice but to reveal, and here we are. You were just too scared of your employer there. Yep, exactly that. Anyway, so I think based on this, what I should do is I should go back to just go back and erase that location from the description. So that nobody else can figure it out. It's only you. And then you're going to have to take this secret with you to the grave. Nah, I mean, nobody watches them anyway. I don't think I have to edit that. You will take it to your grave. Good. That's a deal. I'm not sure if you realize it, but you can get a Timmy at like any generic kids store, or I don't know. It's not a unique item. I can send you one if you want to. You'll have to give me the address. So I'll do it. No, actually I'll do it. Am I trying to trick you? No. I would never. I would never do such a thing. Your Slack comment. All right. Bailing out, retreating. What else could you say? We lost the battle, but not the war. Fight to win another day, with other inspirational, positive quotes for running away from the stream. Oh, actually, to perhaps make it a little bit easier for myself, I was thinking maybe I could build a keyboard on stream, just so that it's not only work, but something else as well. So maybe I'll do that sometime soon, because I do have a new keyboard coming in. Yeah, I think it would be best to like agree on the time and the date, so that it's not like so if you can just watch it without studying, and it's a good time slot for you, because I believe we are in different time zones. So when I should be getting it this week. I'll see if I have all the parts, and then we'll figure out what's the right day and time for me to build it. Because it's like super late for you already, right? So I'm jealous of people who like and focus on one thing. My hobbies are scattered all over the place. Well, I think me being, I wouldn't call myself naturally focused like that, but it's a learned behavior. I think it's better this way. But naturally, like, if I didn't know any better, I would be at the same time learning how to create music, how to draw, how to design keyboards, and throw in 15 other things. So I just don't think that works at all, so I'm not doing it. But naturally, That's what I would do. I would do all of it. I don't think I will be here for a few days. I think I will be here after 5 days for 4 days probably. So from 5 days from now, you'll be absent for 4 days, right? Do you have any other hobbies besides cycling and keyboards? No, not really. The gym counts, I guess, maybe. I don't know. I think, yeah, I if it worked, if it really worked, that I could do all the things that I want to do at the same time and be happy with the results, I would be doing that. But it's not possible. It seems like something that I've learned quite early on. It's hard to be happy with the results in just one thing. And whenever I hear or read about people who are super proficient and successful in multiple things at once, I really do wonder how they're doing it. And I think sometimes it's just well, either it's a special person or I'm just not getting the full story, and it's not actually like what is being said and portrayed is not actually true. I do a lot of things and I'm not happy with my results. Jack of all, master of none. Yeah, story of my life. Yeah, well, right there, there's another conversation that we could have for at least a couple hours, just talking about that. But I do believe there is like, if you throw in time and you maybe divide your attention to one thing for a long period of time, then another thing, during that transition to whatever the next thing is, if you're able to maintain your level of proficiency with the first thing that you were doing, you can kind of, over time, maybe 5-10 years, get to a place where you're proficient at two things. But again, time is an essential element there, and it won't happen today. It won't happen next year. It's just something that you can probably build up across your lifetime. So you can really, really think about maybe 5-6 things that you could master. Given the assumption that it's like it takes 5 to 6 years to master one thing, maybe you get into this point when you actually understand it by the time you're 20. So you have like whatever 30, 40 years left until you're dead or retired. So in that time span, maybe you could master 5 to 6 things. Time does not work like that for me. I should have started doing those when I was a kid. Yeah, well, same thing for me. I'm not sure what the difference is. I always think about these things. Like, I can't say that I have any grudges about like the way I was raised or towards my parents, but if I were to do it myself, if I were to raise a child, I feel like I would want them to know all of these things, and I would try my best to prepare them so that by the time they reach, they mature, they get into their, let's say by the time my kid is 20, I want that kid to be proficient in at least one thing, so they could financially sustain themselves just based on that one thing. And then it's their life to figure out from there on. Like I think my part is to, well, of course, make sure they're happy and healthy until they're 20. Make it so that they have one skill that they are really, really proficient in that lets them financially sustain themselves. And probably the last thing would be for me to really transfer all of the things that I feel like I've learned about how life actually is and how the world actually works. And those are, I think, really three goals that I would set for myself if I was a parent. I know one thing, I want to have a garden where I can plant flowers when I'm old. That sounds super nice. I would like to have a garden as well. Because I feel like there's so many things that they should be taught in school, or my parents should have told me, that I didn't have to I had to figure out from mistakes and not being happy and just, stumbling through life instead of somebody telling me that that's the way things are early on. Maybe, I don't know. But then I guess the counter argument would be, being that young, not really living for the context, I probably wouldn't have been in the right mindset to even understand what that means. So I don't know, but I still feel like there is a way where these things could be taught early on. Maybe, I'm not sure how exactly, but I feel like they should be taught somehow, whether in school or it's the responsibility of the parents. But would the child want to do these things? Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm not confident I can raise a child even when I'm older. I am quite confident in, like I just outlined, I feel like I have a pretty good idea of what I would do. But to be able to create a circumstance where I can actually afford a child, that is another story entirely. So once that environment exists and I feel like I want to have a child, then once it happens, I don't think I'm that scared of it, or I'm quite confident that if it happens, then I'll be fine and we'll be fine. And I'll end up raising a good kid. But the problem is, how do you create a circumstance where that can happen? And that's the part that I'm not confident about. Once it happens, I'm pretty sure what I'll do, and I'm sure I'll be happy and the kid will be happy. But the question is how to create a scenario in my life where I can actually see it happening. Raising a child is expensive. For me, it's about how they grow up and the financial part as well. It's expensive in terms of, well, naturally, financially it is expensive, but also in terms of time, because the way I want to do it is I want to invest my time in that child, and for me to be able to have a lot of time to invest in a child, I need to be super financially secure. So there is a connection there where technically it's not just about money, but money is a big part of it, because for you to be able to be there for your child and to really teach them things by example, not just be lecturing them, seeing them once a week and lecturing them about life. For sure they're not going to listen to that kind of parent. But if you really love them and you really are with them and doing things together with them, which means time, then I can see that happening. But for me to have that amount of time that I want to invest in that child, and it's like a second job basically in terms of time commitment. So how do I do that while also financially providing for all of it? So would I be able to show them good path? Would they be happy? Would I be able to help them live the life? That is the part I am not confident in. Let me rephrase it. I don't think I am confident in that, but I am confident in that I will do my best to show them the right path, to make sure that they're happy, and to help them live the life. I know I will do my best, because those things aren't guaranteed either way, no matter how good of a parent you are, how experienced or inexperienced you are, how much money you have as a family. Like, some amount of success in all those three things is out of your hands anyway. But I know I would do my best if it ever happened. So all right then. Little Peach will live happy. Yeah, one day maybe. Let's end this. I'll be off the gym, I guess. So see you tomorrow if you're around. One day. Yeah. Thanks for being here, and as always, I appreciate you listening to me and me being able to talk through my reasons for taking a break. I really appreciate it. I think it helped. So thanks. Yep. Let me know. All right. Bye-bye. Sleep well. And see you tomorrow. Or not. Bye.